Hi.
I'm Shiva, one of the registrars. I've seen you quite a few times in the world.
Yeah.
You seem to be a bit sort of upset with something today. There's something bothering you. What exactly do you want me to help you with?
I have been a bit upset today actually. I've been helping to look after Jacob. Obviously he came in this morning and we could tell straight away that he was poorly, and we have got some results and we're all thinking that he has leukemia. And we've done all these tests. He doesn't know what's going on, and he just looks really scared. And I'm finding it very difficult because obviously nobody's saying what he has, and I have to kind of bite my tongue. And I think he should know for his own sake.
I appreciate what you're saying, and it is a very difficult situation for the whole family, isn't it?
It's
not
obviously
something what they're
the
expecting,
priority.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So, what exactly are you worried about? Means not being told about the diagnosis to the child, or?
Yeah, I just think that we're keeping things from him. We're doing all these tests. He has no idea why. They're painful. He's going to get shipped off somewhere else. He knows that there's something really serious. You don't go from one hospital to another if you've just got a cold. And I just think he's going to be really frightened. And he's asking lots of questions, and we're not really answering them. And I think he's going to be really affected by that. I think he's going to maybe not trust us.
I appreciate what you're saying. You see, we tried speaking to the parents this morning once we got the blood results back, and we did mention the same thing, exactly the same thing, what you are concerned about. But the parents are completely reluctant in getting him involved at this stage because they want to get the diagnosis fast, and they understand that Jacob has to go through a lot of other investigations before he gets a final diagnosis, which will take another 2-3 days, I suppose.
So we can't say that he's got leukemia right now.
See, it is very likely that he has got leukemia, and you are right in saying that. But the parents at this point obviously do not want him to get involved. And obviously it's a very difficult situation for a very sick child. And for any one of us who has met him for the first time or second time, to assess that he's actually ready to get the diagnosis or swallow the diagnosis and sort of comply with the other things, the bone marrow test or other blood investigations and things, which you may have seen some of it, isn't it?
So he
No,
seems really bright. I think he knows that there's something wrong, and I think he's going to suffer more from being kept in the dark.
No, see, I completely appreciate what you're trying to say, but I'm not quite sure whether it is the right time to tell him, especially when the parents are highly reluctant. And I'm not sure whether there's something else which I'm missing here. Is there something which you had sort of previously experienced, which has because obviously we do involve the whole family in the diagnosis and try to work around them. But it is something which I'm not getting. Or am I thinking right in thinking that there's something else which I need to know about?
I think perhaps, I'm being a bit emotionally involved. I have a brother who had leukemia, and he's better now, but a big problem that he's had has been the fact that he was kept in the dark a lot about what was happening, and that has affected his confidence and trust in other people, and that's a big part of what's still negatively impacting his life. And I just think he was younger than Jacob. He was 8 when he was diagnosed, and Jacob's obviously a bit older than that. And I just think if my brother felt that at 8, I'm just worried that he's going to experience the same thing, and I just don't want him to live his life dwelling on the treatment that he's receiving now and us not involving him.
No, I'm sorry that your brother had to go through this, and I understand it's a very sort of emotional situation. And to even speak out about that, and I completely appreciate what you're trying to say. But you will appreciate that this is a very difficult situation for the family as well to even sort of gather what exactly has gone wrong with their child. From a normal child to suddenly thinking of cancer. I think we should involve him. It is very important that he is involved in the diagnosis in the bigger scheme of the things. but I'm not 100% sure that it is actually the right time to involve him, Natasha, as you can understand. This is a situation which the family is trying to cope with. They're trying to support their child at the same time. The child himself is sick, and it's a situation, if the child starts refusing treatment and starts refusing the things, it will not be in his best interest, as you may appreciate. So I think we have to work around him and the family together. It is true that we have to tell him sooner than later, and I will appreciate, it is a good point. I will probably speak to my consultant again and will say that whether there is any way around to sort of explain the diagnosis in a sort of simpler way to him.
Yeah, I just don't think there's ever a right time. And
There's no right or wrong time about it.
No, it's sooner rather than later, I think. And I just think it's very hard. I appreciate what you're saying, and I guess maybe it's more of a balancing act, but
you are exactly right. It's a very balancing act.
Tenets of ethics. Siva, did you go through?
Yeah, we did.
No, autonomy and stuff.
I'm trying to
You have 2
sort of do
minutes.
it
You've
more
just got
realistic.
3 minutes left.
That's fine. I'm trying to do it more realistic than what exactly we know. And
Yeah.
okay, so I appreciate what you're trying to say. I will think about it and we'll have a bit of discussion about it again. It's not a problem about that. I think, as I said, we have to work on the family. We have to ensure that there is no harm done further to the child by refusing treatment or lingering the diagnosis, which can easily happen if a child say at 13, I've got cancer, so what? I don't want treatment. I know I'm going to die. And then what you do about it is
2
the
minutes.
question. And that's why it's a very stressful situation then
yeah,
for the family. They are trying to sort of try and glide into the diagnosis, and if it starts refusing, it's even more problem for the family.
Yeah, but he can't refuse, can he? He can't.
Well, see, he can't refuse, that is true, but then you're fighting him against for another reason. You're pushing him to a test which he says I don't want.
Okay.
So it is a very tricky situation. There's no right or wrong answer about it. And as professionals, we have to, although we do have personal experiences in different ways of different things, we have to be sort of have a professional approach, try and work around the family, try to ensure that no further harm is done to the child. Rather, we do benefit, which is getting the diagnosis, starting the treatment. And obviously, I think at 13, he may need some psychological help to cope with such a bigger diagnosis.
Yeah, I think that would be important.
And it is important, I think we sort of get the right persons in, get the diagnosis properly, get the right person in, explain him to in a way that he understands what lies ahead of him. Because it's a 3-4 years treatment. It's not simple. It's not just like a pneumonia. You come, get antibiotics and go home.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, it was a long time for my brother. So
Is he okay now?
yeah, like I said, physically, but he still suffers
Is he
from
getting
depression.
psychological help?
Yeah.
I'm glad to know that. Means at least something has been done for him as well.
Yeah.
No, I'm really appreciative that you took time out to come and discuss with your sort of viewpoint. It is important as a nursing colleague to sort of put your viewpoints forward, and it will take you in a sort of good state actually. But I'm sorry, that means obviously it's not a right time, I think, for the reasons explained, to go and straight explain the diagnosis to him at this point. And I hope you appreciate where I'm coming from as a professional.
Yeah, no, I do, yeah.
And I'm sure we can catch up another time to discuss things around.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you. Right. Okay, so I think even this one didn't go the way we thought, but I think the important thing is this is about communication. You are addressing her concern, and at the end, Dorothy, how did you feel? Did you feel your kind of concerns were answered to a reasonable satisfaction?
I think it's trying to be guided in balancing your emotional and professional aspects and kind of seeing the bigger picture. I guess I was focusing on him, and there is the family aspect as well, and I think that is something that you have to kind of, like you were saying, it's pros and cons, and it's a balancing and involving all those involved.
I think what he said is a good point, like benefits. So when we talk about benefits, you mentioned about the diagnosis. It's like if we get it done today, then we could start the treatment early. So that's one of the benefits that he mentioned. And also at the end of it, you tied up like not to go with, as you rightly mentioned, not to go with the emotional, personal experiences. Take professional approach and not to personalize things. I think those were a good point.
I think one point which can be added is, that we can